Hello there, Hopewell kids, and welcome back to our final week of Summer Sunday School. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for joining us all summer long. I hope you guys have had awesome, fun-filled summers, learning right along with us each and every week. And even though you won't see my face on the Hopewell YouTube page each and every week anymore, we have new and exciting ways to connect through Sunday school, through other options throughout the week, throughout the month. Just keep listening to this video and you're gonna find out all of the details. Our final summer Sunday school lesson this week is gonna be a recap of all the things that we've learned this summer. But before we get to the recap, I wanna tell you about the new and exciting opportunities for children's ministries at Hopewell this coming fall. Starting in September, we will hold in-person Sunday school again. It's going to be outdoors and it will align with the outdoor worship service starting at 9:30 in the morning. Simply register your family online like you would for outdoor worship by visiting www.hopewellumc.org/calendar, and now you'll be able to say how many children are attending with you. Children will go to the side lawn outside of the chapel for outdoor Sunday school. In person though. We do encourage children to wear masks. We are capping how many kids we can see each week, but this is a great option for those kids that have really been missing in-person instruction, in-person activities, want to see a few of their leaders and teachers again, maybe some of their classmates in a safe and happy way. We will also have Sunday school on Zoom every week. At 10 a.m. every week, feel free to join our Zoom call for Sunday school. Simply visit our Children's Ministries blog and find out the Zoom call details for that week. Join us at 10 a.m. and we will have a lesson, games, and connect online for those that prefer the online experience. Also, make sure to check out our Children's Ministry blog, the past Hopewell happenings, or pick up a brochure from the Hopewell office to check out all the Children's Ministry opportunities we're giving in September. We're going to have mobile recess where we will come to you and give you a break in your school day to play a game and have some fun. We're going to have specialty classes throughout the month, an art class, a game day, a yoga class, all so that parents can drop off their kids for a little while at church, get a break, and kids, we're going to have fun in a safe and happy way. Don't miss these opportunities to connect with your Hopewell family again. We love you, we miss you, and we want to bring you new and exciting ways to connect with us again and to learn more about God. So without further ado, let's move into our final summer Sunday school lesson, where we are going to recap everything that we've learned this summer. So our goal for you is to take these lessons into the new school year and remember. Start the recap.
Remember Abraham and his wonderful patience. Abraham and his wife Sarah wanted a child more than anything, but God had important plans for them both first. Instead of getting frustrated and angry at God's plan, Abraham remained obedient and patient. His patience was rewarded, and God granted them a son named Isaac. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. Psalm 40, verse 1.
Remember King David and his selfishness? King David was greedy. He ignored the blessings he was given by God and always wanted more. King David devised a selfish plan to get rid of one of his soldiers so he could marry his wife Bathsheba. God sent Nathan to help King David understand his sins and ask for forgiveness. He learned that being selfish can really hurt others around you. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves. Romans chapter 12, verse 10.
Remember Joseph and his great trust in God's plan. After Joseph received a beautiful colored coat as a gift from his father, his brothers grew very jealous. They threw him in a pit, they sold him as a slave, and still he trusted God. Joseph was later accused of crimes that he did not commit and sentenced to jail, but he still trusted God. God's plan led Joseph down a path that would ultimately lead him to success and great happiness. God smiled on Joseph because he never turned away from his faith. And we know that in all things, God works for the good for those who love him. Romans 8:28.
Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and how they did not give in to peer pressure. The king made a law in Babylon that forced everyone to bow and pray to a golden statue. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew they were called to only worship the one and true king, Jesus. They were pressured and threatened by King Nebuchadnezzar to follow orders, but they didn't give in and stayed true to God. As punishment, they were sentenced to death and thrown into a fiery furnace, but God protected them. So then, brothers and sisters, stand firm and hold fast to the teachings that were passed on to you, whether by letter or by word of mouth. 2 Thessalonians 2:15.
Remember Daniel and how he showed no fear? Daniel was a steadfast follower of Jesus and prayed to God 3 times a day. Daniel's talents were noticed by the king, and that made his other advisors very jealous. They persuaded the king to make a law stating that the people could only pray to him. Daniel was caught praying to God and told God that he would be punished and thrown into a den of lions. However, Daniel was not afraid. He knew that God would protect him. Sure enough, God saved Daniel from the mouths of the lions and made believers out of those who doubted him. Peace I leave with you. May peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. John 14:27.
Remember the Good Samaritan and the Golden Rule, treating others as you want to be treated. Jesus told a story about a Jewish man traveling who was attacked by robbers along the road. Both a priest and a Levite passed by the man, badly beaten and in need of help. They both did nothing. However, a Samaritan man came down the same road and immediately helped the man. The Jews and the Samaritans did not get along. However, this Samaritan remembered the Golden Rule and helped him, took care of him, ultimately saving his life. For the whole law can be summed up in this one commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. Galatians 5:14.
Remember Samson and how we should never bully. Samson was blessed by God with superhuman strength as long as he loved God and never cut his hair. Samson faced many temptations and eventually told the secrets of his strength to his wife Delilah. Delilah betrayed Samson and told some Philistine officials who did not like Israelites like Samson. The Philistines cut Samson's hair and threw him in prison. The Philistines continued to mercilessly bully Samson and taught him about faith in God. Samson grew weary but found strength in God, again vowing to dedicate his last remaining breaths to destroy those who don't believe in him. God granted Samson his strength in one last leap of faith, and he demolished the temple of the Philistine officials. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:44.
Remember the unmerciful servant and the lesson of forgiveness? A king showed kindness and loaned money to his servants. One day he decided to settle his accounts and asked his servants to pay the money back. One servant who owed a large amount begged the king for more time to pay. The king took pity on him and canceled his debt completely. However, this same servant later demanded to be paid back from one of his own servants. He showed no mercy and threw his servant into prison. When the king heard this, he summoned the servant back and lectured him about his lack to forgive others. He was thrown into prison himself until he could pay his debt. Jesus spoke of how often we should forgive in Matthew 18:22. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times.
Remember Paul and Silas and their perseverance. Both Paul and Silas were devoted followers of Jesus, but many did not like them because they proclaimed that Jesus was the only way to salvation. One day, they were dragged to a group of authorities who did not like them, and they were also attacked by a group of onlookers. They were thrown into chains, but they continued to pray and worship and sing to Jesus, gaining the attention of other prisoners. They had a chance to escape during an earthquake, but they remained in their cell, proving to the guards that they were true men of God. One guard listened to Paul and Silas tell them all about Jesus, and they were eventually released to spread the good news about his love to others. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what he has promised. Hebrews 10:36.
Remember Jesus feeding the 5,000 and how we should share. Jesus was teaching to a large crowd when the crowd got hungry. Unable to buy food for the crowd of nearly 5,000 people, a little boy offered his humble lunch of 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus thanked the boy and gave thanks to God for the generous provisions. He began breaking the bread and fish and passed it out amongst the crowd. Soon, everyone had enough to fill their bellies and 12 baskets of leftover food. God's miracle provided the crowd with another example of his good works, and it was all thanks to a boy who shared. A generous man will himself be blessed, for he shares his food with the poor. Proverbs 22, verse 9.
Well, guys, that's it for us. That's our recap. That was Summer Sunday School. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you for tuning in each and every week. I hope to see some of you in the month of September, whether that's for in-person Sunday School, on Zoom, for mobile recess, or one of our events coming up. It'd be great to reconnect with some of you. I hope you're feeling connected to us. If there's anything that we can do for you, please do not hesitate to reach out or talk to a parent and they can reach out to us directly. Guys, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see what September holds. Good luck. We're praying for you in this new school year, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.